We have a big ACLJ victory to announce because
we got to talk about that.
This is a very cool one because of how, again, it shows you the ACLJ can work. I want to go to Cece Howe because, Cece, we were contacted by a parent of a high school student, also a parent who served on a school board. It's Lake Central School Corporation in Indiana. And tell us what happened when that parent contacted us through aclj.org/help, which is where you go, folks, if you think you need the ACLJ's assistance.
Yeah, this was a case where this parent had two daughters that ran on a track team. And they would pray before their track meets. And they literally had the track coach come up and tell them, "Don't let me see you do that again." And then later on, about 2 days later at another meet, he doubled down and he said the only thing that they can do is be seen being in an individualized moment of reflection. And then he doubled down again, I would say tripled down, and basically said that individualized moment of reflection could only be 5 seconds. So as soon as we were alerted by the parents, we took action. We contacted the school. In this situation, we actually had to file a lawsuit. But as soon as we filed that lawsuit, we entered into settlement negotiations the very next day, and we have settled this case really very successfully. The school board is going to adopt a policy that's based on the United States Constitution and Indiana law that provides public school students may pray or engage in religious activities or religious expressions before, during, and after the school day in the same manner and to the same extent that students may engage in non-religious activities or expression. And what's great is they have to post that on their website, and they actually have a statement in bold red on their website that says that. It literally says Lake Central School Corporation has amicably resolved the recent lawsuit with the ACLJ. And then they make the statement about a student's right to be able to engage in prayer before, during, and after school, and definitely before any athletic events. So it was a great win, not only for our clients, but all of the current students in the Lake Central District, and as well as all future students of this school.
And really any school, because it also shows that you can, we do these lawsuits, we file a lawsuit, but now, talk about embarrassing the school, essentially, in some ways. They're having to put this on their website saying, yes, we know, we've resolved it. Not only that, yes, they can pray now in big rolled letters, like a warning, like a tornado warning.
We've resolved the recent lawsuit with the ACLJ. That's the first line.
Which also made it went around the school enough to the people and parents knew this was happening.
Right.
And they were able to take action. It's very cool. I'm glad we're able to do this still on this individual level. Again, sending sort of a message, a shockwave through the school systems, which are needed right now, dramatically, that you can't push around your students of faith.
Yeah, and like targeting these kids and high school students. In this specific scenario, like what happened here? Was it a teacher that approached the student that just said, you can't pray anymore? Was there a policy?
Yeah.
Was it, yeah.
So, the school would basically say, oh, yeah, we can allow, students can pray. But what was happening, the actual thing that was happening was these students gathered before a track meet to pray. And the track coach saw them praying and literally said to them, don't let me see you do that again.
I wish you could see it on a computer screen.
Yeah, we're showing it right now on the screen.
It's the biggest thing on their
front
website.
page. If you go to their front page, and maybe if your computer is, maybe you have to scroll down one little notch, and you'll see this giant, after important news, you'll see this giant, what looks like a warning if there was like a weather emergency. And it was just to tell people, we've handled it. Because I'm sure they were getting a lot of grief, not just from other members of faculty. I'm sure they were getting a lot of grief from parents. I can't imagine that this is something they don't want to be making. No one wants their kids' schools in the news, and they certainly don't want it in the news for this.
Yeah, for telling the kid, you can't pray this way, you can't pray that way. It's again, the idea here, though, why these victories are important, CC, is when you win inside a school district, or here they call it a corporation in Indiana, you're winning for, in this case, 10 different schools.
That's right.
And the rest of the Indiana school systems know they better not do the same thing, or else every other Indiana school system will have two choices. You can go to court against the ACLJ and lose, or you could settle it and do the right thing and even make the teacher apologize, or the coach apologize.
He has to have a written apology, yes. And that
they
all
love
have to have training.
Yes.
All the staff and
oh, good.
yes,
too.
they all have to be
sit down and be trained.
Yes.
Which I love when we make them have to do that, where they have to actually sit there and listen about how they're supposed to be treating their students and not mistreating their students, because again, too often it's like off the cuff enforcement of rules at these schools, and that is not right for any of the students. And they pick on the kids, of course, who are the ones saying prayer. I bet those kids are the ones who are really the most disruptive on the team. Yeah. That kid who likes to say a prayer before the game. But a great victory there. And Logan, again, an example of ACLJ resources at work, and how these school districts, they didn't just say, like, we resolved this. It says, we resolved this with the ACLJ.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made the attention. Yeah, the American Center for Law and Justice. We can't do that either without you, because you know what we didn't do? Charge anyone to do this.
Nope.
There was no, going in there and saying, okay, to retain this lawyer, here's the thousands and tens of thousands of dollars this would have cost you if you would have done it. No, at the ACLJ, we do it absolutely for free at any level, whether you are needing help at this level, if you're a student who's trying to pray, or you are a leader of a worldwide country, we're there for you. If you're religious, if there's religious persecution happening to you around the world, we can be there. We can help you. Go to aclj.org/help if you need legal help. But right now, we are over halfway through our Life and Liberty drive. That is right. All donations made are doubled. We can't do this work because you can't be able to successfully defend these kids in need if you don't have the best of the best. And you can't do that unless we can afford the best of the best. And how does that work? Because we don't want to charge anybody. That is because you are a supporter. So go to aclj.org and become an ACLJ champion. We're about to cross that 21,000 goal. Last time I looked, we were one away. So you could be that one in 21,000. Do it right now. Become an ACLJ champion. That's someone's dedicated to becoming a monthly supporter. You set the baseline of what we can take on, like cases like you just heard CC talk about.